Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to give you the information about the most likely questions which comes in the subject management accounting, and this video will be helpful for the students those who are going to write the exam in the coming week who comes under Bangalore University. And the subject I am going to take here about management accounting. So once it is done, I'm going to give you or I'm going to upload certain videos even on the subjects such as performance management and the income tax too. Yeah, let us know about the subject management accounting, and in this particular video the information which I am going to give you, that's about most likely questions or most repeated questions, are extracted from past 5 years question paper. By referring to past 5 years question paper, the most likely questions I have listed here, and to score more marks you can refer this particular video. So we'll go with the session. Right, first one, here in this management accounting subject I am going to give you the questions based on the units. So first unit is especially for introduction to management accounting. This introduction to management accounting is basically uh, combining two different parts. That is, part 1 is introduction to management accounting and part 2 is about financial statement analysis. And again, from each unit, which are the questions may come for 2 marks, which are the questions may come for 6 marks, and which are the questions may come for 14 marks in detail I have given. So let us see 2 mark question. Meaning of management accounting, meaning of financial statement analysis, meaning of comparative statement analysis. Again, in meaning of comparative statement analysis, either it may be comparative balance sheet or comparative income statement. Meaning of common size statement, again in meaning common size statement, either it may be common size income statement or common size balance sheet. And finally, the meaning of trend analysis. Only these are the questions which may come for 2 marks. Then, which are the questions which may come for 6 marks in unit 1? It's about scope of management accounting, role of management accountant, objectives of management accounting, and the problems on trend analysis. So here again the problems on trend analysis where it may come for 6 marks, and apart from this we can say even the problems on common size statement and comparative statement analysis and common size statement analysis may come even for 6 marks. And here when they are giving for common size statement and comparative balance sheet, with the minimum information they may ask you for 6 marks. And for scope of management accounting and role of management accountant, objectives or the theory part which comes in the unit 1, I have already uploaded a video which says about introduction to management accounting. In that you can see the information about the meaning, definition, scope, nature, importance, benefits of management accounting and the role of management accountant also. Then what are the questions which may come for 14 marks? See, 14 marks here, one question that is about difference between management accounting, financial accounting and cost accounting. And this particular information also I have already uploaded a video, that separate video for identifying the difference between management accounting, financial accounting and the cost accounting. This may come for 14 marks. Like in the exam they may ask you like, state the difference between management accounting and financial accounting, or state the difference between management accounting and the cost accounting. The second one, the problems on comparative statement analysis. Again, this comparative statement analysis, they will ask both income and balance sheet. So when we are talking about income and balance sheet of comparative statement analysis, will compare the data for a particular company for 2 different period and will identify whether it is increased or decreased, and we will represent in terms of percentage, and on the basis of those percentage you have to write the inferences. Then second one, problems on common size statement analysis. Again in problems on common size statement analysis, here either it may be common size income statement or common size balance sheet. Yeah, one thing, under common size income statement, the sales revenue will be considered as 100%, and the remaining items which are there in the income statement will be converted as per the percentage, or taking base as a sales revenue 100%. And in common size balance sheet, we'll take the total of assets and liabilities as 100%, and for the remaining we'll calculate the percentage. And again, this common size statement analysis, it may include either income statement analysis or balance sheet analysis. So this is the thing which comes in unit 1. Yeah, next we have for unit 2. So in unit 2, we may identify the meaning of ratio analysis or the ratio. Again, when we talk about ratio analysis is a very broader chapter where for 2 marks they may ask you what is the meaning of ratio analysis, and after that we have something which is called as meaning of accounting ratios. So when we can identify certain accounting ratios, and on the basis of those accounting ratios they may ask any one ratio for 2 marks. Again, in liquidity ratio, solvency ratio, turnover ratio, profitability ratio and earning ratio, here for each and every head we have certain types of ratios, and those types of ratios they may ask you when they want for the purpose of examination. So here in the exam they may ask you, for example, what do you mean by current ratio, what do you mean by proprietary ratio, what do you mean by debt equity ratio, what do you mean by debtor turnover ratio, what do you mean by creditor turnover ratio. So here we have n number of ratios. Any ratios they may ask you for 2 marks, and in the ratio analysis, if you want to see, if you are very thorough with all the types of ratios, it will be helpful for you to write for 2 marks, solve the question for 6 marks, and even solve the question for 14 marks. So here that comes for 2 marks. Then next we have 6 marks. So problems on ratio analysis. Again, in ratio analysis there is no any theory question which will come for 6 marks, only practical question will be there. So in that question, the first one, problem on ratios and most frequently asked ratios. So they will give the income statement or the balance sheet or certain details, and on those details they will ask you to calculate certain ratios, and most frequently asked ratios are current ratio, stock turnover ratio, earnings per share, gross profit and net profit ratio, debtor turnover ratio and creditor turnover ratio, then average stock collection period and average payment period. So these are the most frequently asked questions for 6 marks. And one more thing I want to tell you here is, if you are able to solve 6 marks question, the same will be helpful for you to solve the problems which comes for 14 marks. So now this comes for 6 marks. See, for 6 marks from the ratio analysis chapter, there is no any theory question. You will get only the problems. Then for 14 marks, again for 14 marks, there is no any theory question from the ratio analysis chapter. So you have the problems on ratio analysis. So here again, in the 14 marks, they will give you the income statement and the balance sheet of a company. And by using the details which are there in the income statement and the balance sheet of the company, you have to calculate certain ratios such as current ratio, liquidity ratio. You can see current ratio means current assets divided by current liabilities. Again, current assets, how I can get? I can add all the current assets which are there in the asset side of the balance sheet, and adding all the current liabilities which comes in the liabilities side, and finding the relationship between these two, that is current assets divided by current liabilities. And liquidity ratio, then stock turnover, earnings per share, proprietary ratio, gross profit and net profit ratio, debtor turnover ratio, creditor turnover ratio. So here see, majority of the ratios you will learn even for 6 marks. So one thing here, if you are able to solve one problem which comes for 14 marks, then it will be helpful for you to write even for 2 marks and even for the 6 marks. And ratio analysis chapter is a very important chapter from the point of view of examination, where 14 marks one question will be there, for 6 marks one question will be there, and for 2 marks one question will be there. So 14 plus 6 is 20, 20 plus 2, 22. So in total 22 marks will come from ratio analysis. So we'll go with the third chapter. Third chapter is about fund flow statement. Fund flow statement is also a very important chapter, because even from this particular chapter we'll get the question for 14 marks, for 6 marks and even for 2 marks. So again where it covers under around 22 to 28 marks in the examination. So what are the most expected question? So here most expected questions are meaning of fund and meaning of fund flow statement. So you have to write what is the meaning of fund and what is the meaning of fund flow statement. Then what is the meaning of working capital? Because if you want to prepare fund flow statement, we have to prepare a statement of changes in working capital. So that comes to identify the relation or the difference between current assets and the current liabilities. So you have they may ask you for 2 marks. What do you mean by working capital? So working capital is a capital which is required to run the day-to-day affairs of a business. And either in working capital we have three different types. One is about gross working capital and another one is net working capital. Again in net working capital either it may be positive or either it may be negative. So when it is positive, the current assets are greater than the current liabilities, we can say positive working capital. If the current liabilities are greater than the current assets, we'll call it as the negative working capital. So they may ask you for 2 marks, what is the meaning of working capital? And apart from these two, they may ask you for 2 marks such as write any 4 components of current assets and write any 4 components of current liabilities. So what are the 4 components of current assets? We can say cash in hand, cash in bank, stock, debtors, bills receivable, outstanding income, prepaid expenses, short-term investments or the investments which have the convertibility period of less than 365 days. This comes to current assets. Then what about current liabilities? In current liabilities, we can go with creditors, bills payable, bank overdraft, outstanding expenses, income received in advance. So this comes for current liability. So any 4 if you are writing, you will be getting 2 marks, where half marks will be, that is 0.5 marks will be for one component. So this comes for 2 marks. Then for 6 marks, 6 marks here the question will be either what are the uses of fund flow statement. They may ask you for theory, what are the uses of fund flow statement. You can write why we'll prepare the fund flow statement and what is the need or what is the use of preparing the fund flow statement. And apart from that, you can write the they may ask the questions such as problems on preparation of statement of changes in working capital with minimal adjustments. Yes, they will ask you, they'll give you the balance sheet, and by using the data which is there in the balance sheet, you have to prepare the statement of changes in working capital. So by looking into the statement of changes in working capital, you can identify whether you have excess working capital or deficit working capital. So though that will be helpful. And if see again here, if you know how to prepare the statement of changes in working capital for 6 marks, then it is very easy to do the problem which comes for 14 marks. Because when it comes to 14 marks, the first step in the problem which comes in fund flow statement preparation or calculation of fund flow statement or preparing the statement of fund flow statement, the first step is about to prepare statement of changes in working capital. So next we have 14 marks. So problems on preparation of statement of changes in working capital, statement of funds from operation and statement of sources and application of fund. So here for 14 marks, they'll give you the problem such as the balance sheet of a particular company for 2 different period, where you have to compare the data. By comparing the data, you have to prepare the statement of changes in working capital, and after that you have to prepare the statement of funds from operation, and finally the statement of sources and application of fund. The another name for statement of sources and application of fund is the fund flow statement. So if you want to prepare the fund flow statement, you should know how to prepare the statement of changes in working capital and the statement of funds from operation. So here apart from these three, you have to do certain ledger accounts to get certain values. For example, suppose in the problem they have given the value of the machinery at the beginning of the year is 10,000 and at the end of the year is 15,000. And the difference is about 5,000, where it is increased, right? Compared to last year, this year it is increased. Then what it means? We have purchased the machinery. So if you want to identify whether we have purchased or not, we have to prepare a ledger account. And if we have only the difference, then there is no need of preparing ledger account. If we have certain adjustments for those items which comes in the balance sheet or the income statement, we have to prepare the ledger accounts. The most likely or most repeatedly preparation of the ledger accounts are such as when we are purchasing or selling assets, then depreciation and income tax provision. So if we have depreciation, that is depreciation account or depreciation fund if they have maintained, or general reserve, there are certain repeatedly adjusted or used ledgers where we have to prepare to get the exact value for preparing the fund flow statement. This comes for unit 3. Next we have unit 4. Unit 4 is about cash flow statement. So cash flow statement, again in this problem you may get the question for 2 marks, 6 marks, again for 14 marks. For 2 marks you may get the question such as meaning and definition of cash flow statement and any 2 uses of cash flow statement. Then for 6 marks, yes. So they will ask you like what are the uses of cash flow statement. See, even fund flow statement we had one theory question. What is the use of preparation of fund flow statement? Here also what is the use of cash flow statement? Then what are the difference between fund flow statement and the cash flow statement? Even this one is already available in the video which I have already uploaded. Then third one you may get the 6 marks question, practical question, that is on problems on calculation of cash from operating activities, cash from investing activities and cash from financing activities. See here, one more thing I want to tell you here is operating activities, investing activities, financing activities. Because when we are preparing the cash flow statement, all the transactions or all the entries or all the transactions which happened in the company are broadly classified under 3 different categories, especially when we are preparing the cash flow statement: operating activities, investing activities and the financing activities. So when we are preparing cash flow statement, we have to prepare all the 3. But if you know how to prepare cash flow statement for all the 3, in the sense separately they may ask, see for example they will give the income statement and they will ask you to prepare cash from income operating activities. They will give you the balance sheet. They may ask you to prepare investing activities or financing activities. So here separately for 6 marks they may ask the question like calculation of cash from operating activities, calculation of cash from investing activities and the calculation of cash from financing activities. And for 14 marks, here only one question they may ask, that is the problem on preparation of cash flow statement as per accounting standard 3 indirect method. So how it includes? It includes where the cash flow statement which includes 3 heads. One is cash from operating activities plus cash from investing activities plus cash from financing activities. For this we will add certain percentage of contingency, then we will add opening balance, then the closing balance. So this comes to the cash flow statement, and cash flow statement is also a compulsory question which will come in the exam. And one more benefit, which if you know how to prepare the cash flow statement, then it is easy to solve the problem which come for 6 marks. That's about either operating or financing or investing activity problems. And finally, management reporting. Management reporting is completely a theory unit where the questions will be asked having a nature only of theory. So what are the most expected question? Let us see. So, for 2 marks they may ask you what is the meaning of reporting, and they may ask the meaning of different types of reporting. So we have short-term reporting, long-term reporting, based on the requirement of the company or based on the nature of the business. Here again there are certain bases or certain types based on certain category. So on that, in any one they may ask to write the meaning of reporting. Then for 6 marks they may ask explain different methods of reporting. So again when we talk about different methods of reporting, they may ask you for 6 marks where you have to write the heading, and even you have to write the detailed notes or detailed information about particular chapter. So which will especially come on the reporting. There are various types of reporting which will be coming under the circumstances, such as the report for that is for short term or that is for long term. Either it may be a production related report, or either it may be a sales related report, or either it may be budget. So there are various types. So on the basis of the types of the report, we can write or we can identify, and that we have to write for 6 marks. And second one, we have to write or they may ask, explain the essentials of good report. There are certain essentials when we call about good report, such as frequency of the report, or comparability, then cost consideration. It should be factual, and it should be controllable, it should be accurate, it should be consisting, it should be relevancy. There are various features which will be included for good management reporting. So that we have to explain. That should be minimal explanation. Then again, explain the different principles of good reporting system. Again, there are certain principles which we have to follow when we are preparing the report. So such as proper flow of information, then proper timing, basis for comparison, relevant information. It should be the especially the information which we have provided in the report should be very clear and simple. It should be in easy language, it should be easily understood. Then the cost of preparing that report should be less. Then it should give a certain base for comparability, and it is very easy to evaluate. So there are lot many principles when we talk about the management reporting. So certain principles also you have to explain, and again this is also in minimal explanation. And when it comes to different methods of reporting, we have various methods, like on the basis of accounting, or for the purpose, we can say internal and external type of reporting. And if it is a nature, we'll call it as enterprise reporting, or investigating reporting, or controlling reporting. If it is for accounting period, that's short term or long term, or we can say routine or special. Then finally, according to functions, we can say either it may be operating or financial. Right. So finally, for 14 marks, we may get the questions such as explain the essential of good report, and write in detail about different principles of good reporting system. So whatever it is there in the 6 marks, here again in 14 marks, you have to write it in detail to score highest marks. So I hope this video was useful for your exam, and all the best. Do well in the exam, and thank you for watching. We will meet in the next video. Thank you all.